Okay, just give me 30 seconds, okay? You won't find this information on any other YouTube video. I'm an ex-trainee and current event assistant using information from a former administrator. We're gonna look at the lack of development, the hacker issue, lag, and the lack of content creators both now and in the past. About 3 months ago, former build team administrator T3 Hero wrote a pretty revealing article. I don't know if his NDA expired, but in the article he reveals his perspective of why Mineplex failed. I'll be going over parts of this article along with other useful information so that by the time you finished watching this video, you'll confidently have a grasp of why Mineplex Java has few updates, few content creators, and countless hackers. Let's start with the developer issue. As I was editing this video, Timmy6790, a community quality assurance member, was actually hired as a Mineplex front-end Java developer, so keep that in mind for the rest of the video. He was hired just 2 days ago, and we'll see what sort of changes that brings about. Currently, there are 5 developers on Mineplex, and that includes both Java and Bedrock platforms. Okay, now let me scroll through the Java changelog. Let me know what you see. Okay, lots of build updates. Duddy is the current build team admin, and you can notice that most of these updates are just adding and removing maps. But hold up, there's 5 developers on Mineplex, so what's going on? Why just build updates? First developer we're gonna look at is gyroninja. gyroninja is Mineplex's front-end Bedrock developer, and updates are being pushed out. In case you don't know, front-end basically means all the visible stuff, the user interface, while back-end is the server stuff you won't see. I'm not saying that Mineplex is doing enough to support Bedrock, but with Gyro we can see visible progress in Mineplex's Bedrock edition. Not the fastest update since it is a single developer handling all the front-end development, but we can see the Bedrock server improving and being fixed. Next we have Wander. He works on website things, the forums for example, thanks to Wander. Okay, no problem, we still have 3 developers. Surely one of these should lead to updates on Mineplex Java. Let's look at Morgan. Fun fact, Morgan is actually a roommate of the lead developer on Mineplex, which we'll get to in a few minutes. He handles the backend on both platforms. Since it's the backend, that's literally all I can tell you about Morgan, since anything Morgan would do would almost certainly be considered highly confidential. Sorry. Fourth up, we got konsolas. Quick detour. So you know the hacker issue on Mineplex, right? Interestingly, the amount of Mineplex staff hasn't decreased much over the past few years. It makes sense. The people that became Mineplex staff are people that are dedicated to Mineplex, and the people that are dedicated to Mineplex have stuck around continuing to play on the server. So believe it or not, there's actually a higher proportion of staff to players since the player count is decreasing. So then why is the hacker issue getting worse? Gwen is Mineplex's anti-cheat, and it's no secret that many players are not a fan of Gwen. In January, there was some hope. There was a Cake Wars tournament. A Cake Wars tournament is quite the jump from the developer konsolas and Gwen, I know, but stick with me. After the Cake Wars tournament, the lead developer, Alex, made an inspirational announcement. konsolas is now the anti-cheat developer and had developed the first phase of Gwen v2. They used info from Gwen v2 to ban a dozen hackers that hacked in the tournament. Let's go! Except they ended up pardoning all of these bans, and there have been few public updates about Gwen since. So let's scroll up one more time. The only developers we see releasing updates are Alex, and further back, Moppletop. Moppletop, also known as Sam, was actually a former developer that actually came back to work part-time at Mineplex. He released a lot of fixes and seasonal updates, and then he quit. This leaves Alex as the last developer. As the lead developer, he bounces around, handling various projects. However, since no other developers handle Java's front end, this means that Alex is the only one working on Java updates that we would hear about. As a result, despite the promises of a new game and a clans update about 9 months ago, neither have come to fruition, along with few bug fixes and few cosmetic updates. Alex promised to hire new developers back in May, and it's been 2 months, so we'll see what happens there. But development wasn't always like this. Chiss used to handle game design until he dipped from the network in 2017. From there, Sigils took over, who designed games like Hero of Gwen, a game similar to League of Legends, which did not appeal well to Mineplex players, and Spyfall, a 1.9 version Elytra game, which had a lot of glitches. Under Sigil, Mineplex also invested into Android games and a Roblox game until that project was shut down. Then, later that year, Sigil, along with numerous admins and developers, were fired from Mineplex. Now, I only briefly want to touch on the lag issue here. Mineplex's lag stems from its outdated coding and incredibly large but irrelevant database. How irrelevant? The database includes the data of everyone, and people that have played 0 or 1 game make up over 2/3 of the database. I'm not saying whether Mineplex should remove this database to improve lag, but just letting you know where a large part of it stems from. YouTubers. Some argue YouTubers leaving Mineplex was a cause of Mineplex's decline, some argue it was a result. Regardless, how bad is the YouTube issue on Mineplex? CCC, or the Content Creator Council, is in charge of reviewing YouTuber and streamer applications, updating ranks based on who's active and who isn't. This is the updated list. It's actually missing Kaka and UYT. In this list of over 45 content creators, only 7 have posted some form of Mineplex content on their YouTube channel in the month of June. 8 if you count Divine Pegasi posting a video with no mention of Mineplex except for in its title. Not a single YouTuber rank has posted Mineplex content in June. Well, how did it used to be? Well, one of the founding developers, Spew, was in charge of appealing to content creators. He got one of the biggest in the early 2010s, CaptainSparkles, to play on Mineplex. Then in 2014, Spew was forced off the team after giving YouTubers too much liberty and power on Mineplex. DefX7, who up till then mostly handled back-end work, advocates for his roommate ParkerGames, who started up a YouTube channel and received an overwhelmingly large chunk of Mineplex's attention as a content creator. Then in 2015, ParkerGames stopped posting Mineplex content. Now, there is so much more to Mineplex's decline. It's an ability to follow trends, lack of owner awareness, etc. And if you want to learn about those, I actually recommend this video by Zyphon, which I didn't notice any inaccuracies with, or T3 Hero's article, which I've actually already partially covered in this video. But is Mineplex Java dead? Okay, what am I talking about? It's a struggle to join half of its games nowadays, including its more popular games like Skywars and survival games, but it's still profitable. At least it was 6 months ago, and that was excluding the profit made from over 3,000 current Immortal subscriptions. I made a 2-minute video about the Hive Java being shut down months ago. A lot of people, including me, were speculating whether Mineplex Java would follow suit. One key difference though is the Hive Java wasn't profiting. Mineplex is. It has financial room to get new developers, fix its glitches, and make new games. Will it though? I don't know. What I do know is that my channel has 289 subscribers, so every like, every comment, every share plays a huge role in pushing this video out.